Barbara. I'm looking a little wild today, but you know, and I forgot to show you my gizmo. Maybe I'll show it to you on my way in the house instead of on the way out. Oh, thank you for joining me for coffee. It is a beautiful day today. It's a little cool, but and it's a little breezy, maybe breezier for me than it was yesterday because the house was blocking the breezes, but it's still lovely and I decided to come out. It's actually a little earlier than my normal lately. But I was in that twilight sleep that I get into, you know. I kind of wake up at 8 o'clock or 7:30 and, you know, I kind of go back to sleep. I don't go back to sleep. Anyway, I was having arguments with people at work. Now, I've been retired for 8 years. The people I was arguing with in my head are probably all retired. I thought, okay, I got to get up. That's ridiculous. Coffee's good. So I worked on my aluminum last night. I decided I would just follow the pattern for the neckline, so I bound off the front and the back, so they're all bound off, and I cast on the sleeves, and I'm doing them 2 at a time. It's all going to be sewn together like the pattern says. I did about that much on both sleeves, and I had to tear one back all the way back and redo it because I had one more of those patches that I do when I was watching TV and whatever, so I had to fix that. So anyway, that set me back a little bit. I was watching podcasts. I watched Leslie's vlog, and her podcast is probably up right now because she's ahead of me in time. Chevis is coming to Maryland Sheep and Wool, so that's fun. And she's been having very low mojo, she says. Well, that makes sense. You don't feel like podcasting when you have low mojo, as you guys have all been through with me, and probably yourselves too. But, yeah, it's a drag when you lose your mojo. I am feeling like I have my mojo back a little bit, so that's good. Maybe more than a little bit. I don't know that it's back, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. Oh, and I watched Fruity Knitting, and I haven't seen Fruity Knitting in a really long time. I guess Andrea's been in Australia for a while now, and she did her podcast with her sister Fiona. And if I have a time where I'm sitting there with a TV on, I'll maybe go back and watch some of the other ones. But anyway, because Fiona's lovely. But this one had just come out, so it had popped right up on my TV. And they did a piece about color, you know, summer, winter, fall colors, people's coloring. And to refer to the book Color Me Beautiful from the 80s. And anyway, they did a thing where they put the whatever. And it occurs to me that I have no idea. I don't really have any idea. And I think I've spoken about this before years ago and gotten advice, which I don't remember, about what color I am. And I think that would change anyway since I'm so gray now. But it struck me because 2 people mentioned that they thought the color of the sweater that I wore yesterday, which was a dusty dark lilac or a dusty light purple, that it looked good on me, like it was a good color for me. Do you think orange is a good color for me? So I decided to wear this sweater, which is in fact the exact same sweater in a different yarn. So what do you think about orange? Because I've noticed, and I have, I don't pay attention to things sometimes. And I have noticed that as I'm editing my vlogs sometimes I feel like I look really old. And sometimes I feel like I don't look as old as I looked yesterday. You know what I mean? And I'm wondering if that's because of the color of my sweater. You know, and that whole concept of, colors. Maybe I'll see if they have Color Me Beautiful in the library. And see if I can figure out my colors. Maybe that's a project when Christy comes in July. Maybe she can help me figure out my colors. I don't think it's something I can do by myself. But anyway, it's got me thinking about my colors, and I could be, so maybe I should start paying attention to what I'm wearing when I think, oh, I don't look as old as I looked yesterday. And maybe that's, you know, maybe that's it. I don't know. So anyway, I watched Fruity Knitting yesterday too, and her podcasts are long. Dennis had D&D, so I was sitting there with the TV on and just flipping around watching things, and I was wearing my bifocals. It was the first time I had the TV on since I got my bifocals, and so I thought, let me see if this really works, and it did. So the bifocals work for exactly what I got them for, which is sitting there, I can look down and do my knitting, even though I made a mistake, but it wasn't my glasses' fault. And just look up and see the TV, and I can see the TV clearer. Now, I usually don't even notice that I'm not seeing the TV very clearly, unless my eyes are really tired, and then things are actually blurry. But I could tell, you know, like I did the test, you know, and it was clearer, even though I would never have thought twice about watching TV and not having any trouble without my glasses. But anyway, so my bifocals worked as intended, so that's fun. Yeah, so that's fun. So I took Aura. We had our long trip through southern Chester County, which is a beautiful area of the country, and her doctor was happy with how she's doing and wants to see her in 6 months, and so all is well. And Aura's like, do I have anything else this week? I'm like, it's Friday, Aura. Oh, good. She's like, but she had something she had something every day. She's actually been really, really busy. She had a doctor on Monday, rehab on Tuesday, visit with her cousin on Wednesday, rehab on Thursday, doctor's visit on Friday, Kim's coming tomorrow, leaves on Sunday, and her niece comes on Monday. So she's a very busy lady. I'm like, I'm not going to see you till the end of next week. She's like, okay. She's not going to miss rehab. She is so excited to be done with rehab. But she is going to miss our Tuesday, Thursday visits. So I'm going to have to just go visit. I could do that. And she did really enjoy coming for dinner. So I told her, you know, you can come visit us and we can sit on our deck. She doesn't like to drive at night. She doesn't actually drive very much. What was that? I thought Dennis was coming out, but he wasn't. That was Maisie going in. Okay, hush. Okay, I know, I heard it too. Pearl. Apparently Pearl does not understand the command, get off the porch if you're going to bark. We didn't teach her that one. Anyway, so I'm getting very excited about Maryland Sheep and Wool. I'm getting excited to see people. I know a lot of people are going to be there. And the surprise that I thought I was going to have turned out to be a nice surprise, but not what I thought. Valerie is coming for a long weekend, and she's going to be able to go to Maryland Sheep and Wool. I hope she doesn't mind me telling you this, because I didn't ask her if it was okay to talk about it on the vlog. But she knows I talk about everything, so I think standard procedure for me is, if you don't want me to talk about it on the vlog, you should say so. Christy has told me that a couple of times as she had news. I'm like, okay. Anyway, so she's coming kind of for a long weekend, and it's a short visit, and she has lots that she wants to do. She's never been to the East Coast before. that could be wrong. She might have been in the South, but she hasn't been in the Northeast before. So anyway, I thought I misunderstood, or I had some hopes that she might be able to come and visit with us a little bit, and that we would drive on Saturday down to Maryland Sheepawol together. But there's so many things going on, and so many people that she wants to see, and the time is short, and the distance is just long enough to make it too long. So she isn't going to be staying with us, and she won't get to meet the girls, and she won't get to have a cappuccino with Dennis. But she will be at Maryland Sheepawol, so I will get to see her, and I'm very excited about that. I'm contemplating, I'm not sure if I can do it, but might try to get a hotel room for Saturday night and then stay and go to Sunday. Sunday at Maryland Sheepawol is a completely different experience than Saturday. Saturday is very, very busy. Sunday is Mother's Day. So Sunday, there's plenty of people there, but it's way fewer people than on Saturday. And so it's a less, sort of manic experience. So Sunday's a lovely day to go. And if you can only go one day and you don't really care about like the podcasters meetup, which is on Saturday, and you just want to be able to leisurely walk around the booths and look at the animals and things like that, Sunday's the day to go. So I may try to figure out how to stay over Saturday night in a way that I feel comfortable doing and Dennis feels comfortable for me to do. And then go on Sunday because, as I said, Sunday's a lovely day to be there, and that'll give me more time to spend with Valerie and probably some of the others who have come a long distance. And anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to taking video. I'm going to be taking my battery pack thing so that when my phone dies, I can charge it. I'm going to be prepared. So I'm hoping to have content in my vlog next week. Not next week, the week after next, because it's next Saturday, a week from today. So, yeah. And yeah, and then my sister's coming, and my sister-in-law's coming, and yeah, Mother's Day. Oh, I haven't started sketching yet and painting, but I really need to do that. And Dennis's, I'll take a little video. I'll put my shoes on and take a little video of Dennis's apple tree. It's in full bloom. It looks beautiful, and I'm thinking I'm gonna cut a few branches off and bring them on the deck or bring them in the house and try to sketch some apple blossom cards, because I would like to send my mother a card for Mother's Day that I painted. And last year I sent her a picture of dogwood, my dogwood blooms. Dogwoods aren't quite in full bloom at the moment, but the apple tree is absolutely stunning. So I would like to do that, and that would be more sketching than I've done in a long time. And I don't know what the barrier is for me to get back to sketching. It's so crazy. I have my sketchbook at hand. It's near my chair, so I'm not sure what it is. But I would like to get over it, and I would like to do some sketching and make some cards, because I had made some cards, but I've been using them and I'm running out of cards. So I want to make more cards, and I want to do more sketching and that kind of stuff. So I think I'll do that. We have a dove I can hear and some chittering birds. I'm early enough that nobody started to mow their lawn yet. I don't know if you can tell. Did I say this yesterday? Our backyard needs to be mowed again. It's getting up to where it's going to need to be mowed again. Dennis mowed it last week. After we picked, around the stick picking time, he mowed it. But it keeps growing. So he's going to have to mow this week again. But it's so nice out here. So my plan for today is to be out here. So I think I need to gather my supplies, and I'm gonna clip a couple branches off of that apple tree and sit out here and do some sketching and read my phone and knit on my sweater. But I expect to be outside today because it's supposed to be a beautiful day, and I've been inside too much lately. However, it is Saturday, and I'm sure the boys next door are gonna fire up their chainsaw and start working on their wood. They took a few trees down next door. We have so many ash trees in this area that, you know, have been blighted. I talked about that last year. We have 3 in our backyard. These 3 trees, well, this tree right here is a maple that's collapsed. We had a giant maple tree that had to come down, and this tree grew from the roots of that tree. So this has got a very strong root system, but there's 3 trees and one that you can't see. Back here are ashes that are dying, and we have 2 in the front. So we had a lot more trees in this yard when we bought this house 20 years ago than we have today. This tree is actually in pretty bad shape too. It's not an ash tree though. It's just old, and lots of parts of it are not doing well. So we bought a little forest, and we're going to end up with a lawny backyard. But we own all the trees. We own all those trees back there that you can see. Those are all our trees. There's the other ash tree over there. So we own the property all the way down the hill back there. So we have lots of trees, just not, the ones in the yard aren't doing so good. Anyway, so the boys next door have been taking down ash trees, and there's only so many things you can legally do with the wood from an ash tree that has emerald ash borer infestation. But one of them is to burn it. And so they cut, you know, they're cutting their firewood for next winter. And so that's good. The other thing you can do, you can turn it into ash boards to build things, but they have to be kiln dried so that the kiln kills the ash borer. I think those are the only 2 things you're actually allowed to do with the wood. I don't know. I don't think you can even just chip it up. Well, our tree guy is going to take it away. We have definitely in our wood pile have some ash that shows as ash borer. Anyway. So I fully expect the boys to be busy over there, and so there may be times when it's not that pleasant out here because it's just noisy. But that's my plan for today. So there you go. I'm gonna go put my shoes on and show you Dennis's apple tree, and maybe I'll take my scissors out or my clippers. Get myself some flowers to try to draw, because I need to mail the cards on Monday if they're going to get to my mother in time for Mother's Day. So there you go. That's my plan for the weekend. Try to get a card worthy of my Mother's Day cards. Oh, and I got to do one for Aura too. She has my Mother's Day card from last year on her refrigerator, so I know she appreciates them. Anyway, I'm going to go. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please stay safe and stay sane. So this is the view as I'm standing in my garage door. There's a dogwood that's not quite in full bloom. There's a lilac that isn't in bloom at all. There's a little tiny peach tree that didn't get as many blossoms as it should. Here's another dogwood that is not quite open yet. And there's Dennis's apple tree in all its glory. This is a Granny Smith. And then next to it here is a wine sap. Now the wine sap, look, all the flowers are close to the top. Dennis is going to have to get his picker thing if he's going to get wine sap. But wine saps, I told you yesterday, are a sterile tree, so they need the Granny Smith flowers to be open at the same time. So we're hoping we can get some pollinators, but we do not have very many pollinators. And I don't know how it's going to go, but aren't they beautiful? So this is our front yard. So here are my cute little daffodils and my blue things that I haven't looked up. Maybe I'll look them up right now because they're in the garage. But the blue things are starting to get stalks in the middle that are going to be flowers, so that's good. I suppose this could be weeded, but you know. There you go. So this is my front. Here are my irises coming. The leaves are, you know, the iris leaves show up really early or even all winter and they get brown and whatever, but now they're going good. So they're spreading and they'll be lovely. They're my favorites. And this is a fun one. Did I talk to you about my sages? I had planted perennials, a kind of a sage. Well, I guess I could figure out what kind it is because I left the tags in. Perennial sage. And promptly called garden sage, bumblebee morosa garden sage. And, you know, I planted them and I watered them and then I forgot about them. And I didn't water them again and I just left them with the rest of the garden and they did not thrive. But here they are coming back. These are Stelladora lilies. And the leafy stuff in the front is a ton of coneflowers, and they will be coming up. I should get my rake out and get those leaves out before they come up, but they're coming up now along with weeds and such. But this is going to be pretty this year. I did pick a few weeds out of this the other day. So there you go. There's my front. Isn't my tree beautiful? I hope I haven't given you seasickness. But there you go. I'm going to clip a few of those branches off and see if I can paint them. So here we go. Let me see if I'm going to be able to capture the beauty of these flowers and make a pretty card. I don't know. We'll see.